Hello everybody, and today is May 29th. Today is a Thursday, and welcome to Enjoy the Movies, where I'm putting my 2 cents about movies. Now, I'm kind of backed up by a couple weeks here, so I've got a ton of movies to review, at least like 12 or 14 movies, and I couldn't really go over them because I had my last week of school, like potentially forever, and then I graduated. So, needless to say, that was fun. So, let's just jump right in. I got a lot of stuff to do. I got a lot of extra cleaning to do also, because I start my full-time job next week. So, I'll still be working on Blockbuster. I'll definitely get some movies before they come out and hopefully review them on time. But until then, because, you know, things are a little bit messy right now, that's what I'm going to do. So, let's just start. There are 4 movies I want to go over today. First one is called Who's Your Monkey? Second one is called The Color of Freedom, I believe. Yeah, Color of Freedom. The third one is called StrangeWilderness, and the fourth one is NatTreas2 Book of Secrets. So, let's just jump right in and start with Who's Your Monkey? Now, when I typed this into IMDb, I had some trouble finding it, so it's actually under Throwing Stars. Now, if you end up watching the movie, you'll pretty much see why it's called Throwing Stars, because there's this theme of, like, you know, shurikens and stuff. But anyway, started watching the movie. There's, like, nobody really big in this movie. Yeah, I didn't know anybody at all. And it had this really cheesy plot, and there's this monkey at some point in the middle. I don't understand why they didn't call it Throwing Stars, because it's a little bit more, you know, explanatory of the movie. But needless to say, Who's Your Monkey in itself is a really lame, terrible, cheesy, sad plot of a movie. And I don't even know where to go with this, because describing it, the beginning starts off kind of like Without a Paddle, except then it starts to get really out of mood. Like, it's supposed to be a comedy, but it becomes like this really dark drama that's so pathetic that it's funny. So I'm not even sure if that was deliberate, but it doesn't seem like it's supposed to be a good idea for this movie. So needless to say, Who's Your Monkey, aka Throwing Stars, I guess, in other places. Thumbs down, definitely don't watch it. Next movie I wanted to talk about was called The Color of Freedom. Now, this I also had a hard time, oddly enough, finding on IMDb, because it's called Goodbye Bafana, actually based on the book, I believe, or a book of a similar title. And it's basically about the life of Nelson Mandela and one of the guards, or, you know, people who had to keep him, I guess, safe or whatever from other things. I don't even know, because I had watched this movie like 2 weeks ago. So pretty much he was a prisoner, Nelson Mandela. He was a prisoner in a terrorist camp, I guess, or a terrorist prison, or a prison where they kept terrorists. And he was one of the highest, well-known, like, wanted criminals. Well, quote-unquote criminals, but he was just trying to advocate peace. And it's a very good, moving story. Great acting, great story. I actually don't really know any of the main actors, so I was actually very surprised to see that it was actually a pretty high-quality movie. So definitely recommend Color of Freedom. Definitely worth a watch. I also noted that it was a Blockbuster... Blockbuster exclusive for a little while, so if you can't find it around, check there first. So needless to say, that was pretty good in the movie. Definitely recommend. Great acting, great story, very moving, very inspirational. Alright, next movie I wanted to talk about was called StrangeWilderness. Now, you might have seen some trailers of this movie. It's supposed to be this comedy movie where a bunch of guys happen to run this TV show. It's similar to, like, you know, Steve Irwin's, you know, Animal Planet or whatever, but it's called StrangeWilderness, except that these guys who are filming it do a terrible job, especially because in the movie itself, the people who are doing it, the main guy who is the host, he's actually the son of the original host, who basically, you know, left him the show, and he basically butchers it, and the only way that they're going to be able to sustain themselves, they got wind of this rumor that Bigfoot existed, and they're going to try and get footage of him in order to, you know, save the show. So that's pretty much what needless to say, this movie's terrible. It's pretty bad. Don't recommend. There's a couple of cheap laughs, But I mean, it's like any other stupid movie anyway. So needless to say, Strange Wilderness, don't recommend. Bad special effects, very dumb. The narration is kind of lame, especially when you see what's going on, and they kind of cut clips in of like animals and things. And the story wasn't really at all useful or even amusing. So, Strange Wilderness, definitely do not recommend. Thumbs down for that one. So, let's see. And the last one for this particular segment, even though I'm probably going to do like 8 more movies just today. So, anyway, and the last one I want to talk about is the big one, National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. When I watched it, I actually liked it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good for what it is. The problem is, when the first National Treasure came out, everybody loved it because we hadn't seen anything like that before. So, when we watched this one, let me just say, it's pretty much like watching the first one, except with different events and different story, and that's pretty much it. Because at this point, we've already seen things like Da Vinci Code, and a couple other movies that wannabes, most of them are pretty bad. But, so National Treasure 2, if you really love the first one, and, you just like watching the mindless action, or the mindless solving of puzzles, go ahead, go and watch it. I liked it, so I'm going to give it a thumbs up. But if you understand what I'm saying, it's like pretty much going to be the exact same thing. There's going to be nothing new, nothing original about this one. I'm going to say don't watch it, just forget about it. It's not like a huge deal, because unless they have a 3 where I guess there's going to be some... You probably should watch number 2 before you watch 3. But other than that, like, the acting was kind of mediocre in it too, so I didn't think it was that great. But I thought it was entertaining, so that's pretty much it. So hopefully that helps. That's 4 movies right there for you. I'm gonna get the next 4 ready, and hopefully see you guys in the next episode. All right, talk to you later. Goodbye.